It's time
to talk about the greatest movie ever made.
Welcome to the Cinematics Podcast. I'm Connor.
I'm Casey.
And today we're talking about the live-action 2002, I think, Scooby Doo movie.
2002.
I think it was just called Scooby Doo.
I have this on the wrong way. Hold on.
I'll wait.
I appreciate that.
All right.
Okay.
Let's start with the initial reviews.
Okay. The initial review is this is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece that I would watch forever.
I'd give it a 3. I thought it was good, for what it was.
I don't think a 3 is good. That's like a bad movie.
I mean...
A 5 is an average. So
well, I don't think it's average.
Yeah, I know. And a 3...
Well, I mean, it could have, gotten worse.
That's true.
There are some really redeemable qualities about this movie.
Okay, fair. Okay,
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about first, I want to talk about our viewing experience, which I think was just funny. So me and him, we watched this right after we watched Shutter Island. And of course this is in our mystery special of Scooby Doo, Shutter Island, and Zodiac. We watched this right after Shutter Island. We were like, palate cleanser. It's kind of fun movie. So we have subtitles on. I don't know about you guys. I always watch everything with subtitles.
Yeah.
I have this on. They do not work at all for the whole entire movie.
I want to think it's because they couldn't get the original script when it was added to Prime, and they just can't fucking understand what they're saying.
Apparently, Scooby especially just no one ever got anything. But then at the very end of the movie, in the post-credits scene, for some fucking reason the subtitles turned on.
That is the only subtitles that work for the entire movie. And that's another reason why I think that they just couldn't understand what people were saying, because I think that they watched the subtitles and they're like, all right, we might not be able to get the whole hour and a half of the movie beforehand, but we can at least get subtitles for this 1 minute scene.
We know what they're saying here.
Yeah. But I mean, they didn't have the subtitles for the entire movie. I guess they're like, oh, fuck it.
And then you have the audio mixing.
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh my god.
It's there was crowd chatter that was louder than the actors. It's insane. I've never seen a movie with worse sound design. It's like a Christopher Nolan movie if Christopher Nolan movies were bad.
Genuinely, like he said, literally the people in the background I could hear better than the main character when they were talking to each other. It was such a weird issue.
It was evident from the very first scene of the movie when they're fighting that really scary guy.
The in the factory, I forget
the ghost guy.
What does he look like? Does he literally just look like a ghost?
Yeah, but he was really scary. And he could fly.
Scream.
When I was a kid, dude, I was so scared of that guy.
But then the audio mixing was just terrible. But
yeah.
In saying that, you got to give him, you got to say whenever it's a good thing. We don't just do bad things. We do good things here. The CGI was impeccable.
Actually, he's not wrong.
For the time, at least.
It's not terrible.
It's really not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, Scooby, actually, it's a little strange. He looks a little strange. But, I was impressed with, the shadow work.
Yeah.
These,
or, the reflections. Whenever the...
yeah.
For anyone that hasn't seen this movie, Connor, give us a quick explanation of this movie real quick.
So, there's a little introductory scene where they solve a mystery. They just kind of get used to the characters. And then they all kind of have a parting of ways moment because Fred is just, the ladies love him. What can you say? Everybody's gathered around him. He's the spokesperson, and he kind of takes a little bit of the credit of the entire crew, right? Wasn't that kind of what split them up?
Yeah, that was the big thing.
They were like, all right. It was Velma. It was I'm tired of not receiving any credit.
I feel
for all
I
this.
do everything, and you just get all the credit.
Because for the entire movie, she's just the only person that actually is smart. Which I guess
Daphne's just a fucking dumbass the entire time, but's really good at karate.
Yeah.
Fred is just a dumbass. He literally has no redeeming qualities. He's just stupid.
Yeah. And then Shaggy is just a stoner.
Shaggy is stoner that has Scooby, but then almost loses Scooby to girl that is actually an alien.
And so basically, yeah, they split up right at the beginning. And then I was kind of thinking this might be the weirdest Scooby-Doo movie ever if they don't
Imagine.
I was kind of thinking they might not get back together. I was actually really scared. For the mystery crew.
I know I was too. I'd actually even seen this movie before, and I was like, do they get back together?
I was
terrified.
Kind of thinking that they would spend the entire movie all apart and it would just kind of be their daily lives. I was like, we need the mystery crew back. But luckily, we jump 5 years into the future And that's all said and done. They're back together.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, they aren't back together. They get
yeah.
a message from a mysterious benefactor.
Yeah.
And that person invites them all secretly, individually, back to this island. And then they get back together on the plane. And they're like, we are together now.
Yeah.
We've decided.
And then Shaggy at this point falls for the woman at the airport trap. There's like a total baddie approaching. And
there's a lot of baddies in this movie, too.
Yeah, man. They're trying to make these kids horny.
They don't say that.
Well, but you're right, though. I mean, I shouldn't. But
they definitely had a thing of having a lot of sexualized, very overtly sexualized women.
I don't know why they did that. It was like a really weird choice for a Scooby Doo movie.
Even fucking Velma, for some fucking reason, okay, at some point in the movie, she gets taken over by the alien, and the alien like gets a low cut dress and is like, what the fuck is that? Why?
To signify that she's turned to the bad side, she just starts dressing a little sluttier.
Yeah. Everyone knows the sluttier, the worse the person.
Yeah. And so they end up on this island, and there's some mysterious things going on there. There's like a very clearly evil castle that that's feel like they should check out. But, Shaggy's like a little preoccupied with his new airport girlfriend. And
everyone else kind of wants to go their separate ways because they're still not super friendly.
Yeah, they were like, what's up? But they didn't really like connect like that yet. So for all their like own reasons, don't they all just kind of end up back at the castle? Like they all have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Each one of them kind of like. So I think they follow Daphne specifically.
Yeah. She talks to like she talks to like some tribal.
Can I cut that?
She talks to some like tribal guy, and he's like, "Whatever you do, don't go into the castle." And she's like, "No, I think you want me to go into the castle or whatever." And then she does.
This movie, if you watch in a very ironic way, is honestly super fucking funny.
It's actually.
I think I've laughed at this movie more than I've laughed at any movie in a very long time. Like this is a very funny movie.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's like planned comedy, but then like half of the laughs are also just because it's a genuine shit show.
Mm-hmm. It's just a bad movie that is funny because it's so bad. Or like whenever, so then they all get to the castle, of course. Daphne gets there by herself. I think she brings Shaggy and Scooby along. Then Velma and Fred kind of go there by themselves. They just kind of figured it out.
Yeah.
Then they go in, and it turns out there's this small person who is in the castle, who is controlling everything in the castle, and then just tries to kill them. Yeah, no,
he was like super murderous with it. Like this is like it's like a tourist trap kind of place.
Yeah, it's like a roller coaster.
This like small
death.
person really wants to like actually just straight up kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know why it was set up like that. Remember like there was like that one like wall of like, was it like worms or whatever? Or was it? Oh no, it was hot dogs.
So weird.
It was like, why were there all those like glizzies attacking them?
It was Shaggy and Scooby, and they were attached to the wall, and it was like these little faces coming out of the wall. It was so weird looking.
And then they like ensnared them with like sausage links.
Yeah, it was so creepy. Like, it was so out of nowhere compared to everything else in this movie.
Yeah. It's a wonder how this movie actually got like a sequel.
It did. Oh, we should have watched the sequel.
No.
I remember the sequel. It's actually not... Okay, I say that. I haven't watched it in a very long time.
You think the sequel's better?
It's not... No.
Oh.
The sequel is worse.
Oh.
It's unequivocally worse.
But it's like in a good way, though?
But I think it would probably be funny to watch. I haven't seen it in so long, though. I think if I watched it again, though, I think I would probably enjoy it. In like this one.
Yeah.
Which is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, just to be clear.
Yeah, of course. And then there's so they go into the castle. They all kind of have their own experience of getting like nearly killed by this guy that's just like pressing buttons back there. You
got Fred and Velma.
Yeah.
There's these swinging swords that are slowly coming towards them.
And they're like they have to back to the very, very back of the room.
Sword, or actually I think it's an axe, is coming so slowly. Like it is literally going like the sword is like.
It's like, there's like two of them that keep like crossing.
It's like you could so run in between that.
Yeah, they had like a crossing period of like maybe 6 seconds that they could have like ran through it. And then they were like, oh shit. They like backed all the way against the wall.
Oh god.
Like Fred, it's coming closer. Like, bro, just run through it. Like, actually, like,
Just go through.
Yeah.
But that's okay. They survived.
You know, yeah, they did. It was a little bit more murderous than the glizzy trap, but it was probably worse. It was probably just a worse trap.
It was just a terrible trap. At least
Yeah.
with, like, Daphne, right? Well, no, you know what? Daphne didn't really make sense either, because Daphne, she was on a roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't going that fast, but she acted like she just couldn't jump off.
Yeah.
And then there's swords attached to the wall, and the thing's going to run into the swords. Jump off of the thing.
Yeah. Hers was actually kind of insane.
That she's going to get stabbed by, like, 20 swords.
Yeah.
I honestly I assumed that they were going to, like, stab her, but it was actually, like, they were going to go, like, she would run into it, and then it was cut, and you come back to her, and it's like, it did, like, a perfect circle around her or something like that. That's what I assumed was going to happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past the movie. I mean, I like to think that, everything's, like, fake in there. I don't know, I kind of think that the swords were, like, real, though.
Well, I would assume. They wouldn't do anything if they weren't.
Yeah, but I mean, like, weren't the
fake
sausage
swords.
links, like, fake? Didn't, like, Scooby try to eat one and it was, like, not...
It was styrofoam, you're right.
Yeah,
so
it was
the swords
styrofoam.
might have been fake. So, okay, hold on. Then that means that none of that would have actually hurt anyone.
No, I don't think so.
I bet you even those axes were fake.
Yeah, probably.
It was all a scare tactic.
I think it was all fake, yeah. It was
Which, when you think about it, doesn't really make sense in this movie, because this is not the only, because that's not true, but this is the very few of the Scooby Doo canon where there is actual monsters. But in the house where they almost die, none of it's real.
Yeah. There's
But-
some pretty scary stuff in this movie. There's that one really scary ghost guy.
Wait, hold on. Don't skip yet. We gotta go over the fart scene.
Oh my
with
god.
Shaggy and Scooby.
Yeah, that did happen when they were in the castle, right? Oh
Yeah,
my god.
It was right after they find this little secret entrance, and Scooby and Shaggy go into this place, and they are having a fart contest.
They just have like a random spontaneous fart off with like
It's
kind of
so-
no lead up at all.
and the small person
Yeah.
is just watching them, like the villain. He's just watching them.
Yeah, it's like that's where like the meme came from too, was Shaggy, where he's like you question my power or whatever.
Is that where that came from?
Isn't it? Didn't we like discover that while we were watching it? I think it was you that
Yes, you're
said
right.
it.
He does say that. He says, "You question my power," and then he farts for like a good minute.
Yeah, oh yeah, they just keep going.
It just keeps going.
Dude.
That scene went on for so long.
Yeah, it was like uncomfortable, but it was like you can't help but laugh at it because it's so ridiculous, but it is a little uncomfortable. It's like, I don't know, why do they just keep farting? How do they have this much gas in the tank? And then whenever they like hide inside of that little like night uniform and then they get out, it like, dude, Shaggy let out one so vile that it like burnt a hole through the metal. Remember that? It like it made an explosion. It made like a small scale explosion inside of the night armor.
It does. I forgot about this.
It like
yes.
steamed and everything.
So basically, right after this, they crash into the villain's lair. The villain like almost gets hit by them, and then he does an alarm. A whole bunch of people come up. So then they all have to hide in all these like suits, and like they do the classic Scooby Doo thing of all hiding in like a suit of armor or like, acting like they're the display. And Shaggy hides in a suit of armor, and he farts, and the whole fucking armor just explodes.
Yeah, happy 4th of July.
Good
We're
4th of
recording this
July.
right after 4th of July. This is July 5th.
This
No,
is July
6th.
July 6th.
Close
So
enough.
We're right after July 4th, so this makes sense. This works. Happy July 4th, guys.
Yeah, he set off a firecracker in that night uniform. And then they start introducing like the alien things, right? Whatever those things were. There's like
Yes.
monsters. That's
I-
kind of like around the time.
Is this
that
is
happens.
this the first time you see them? I think.
I
Is
think
when
so.
Scooby goes into the woods, and it's the first
Yeah.
time you see them. And this thing, you can tell they put where all the production went.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Except for Scooby. Scooby, it looks pretty good.
Scooby actually looks exceptional. For the fact that he's a full CGI dog and this came out in 2002, Scooby actually looks really good.
Yeah.
The aliens look weird,
But like ridiculous, but in a good way. They
but
look good.
it's like a funny weird, and it's a funny ridiculous kind of way, and I actually think it works, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
No, yeah, I actually don't. It's kind of cool because, like, I don't think the CGI is great by today's standards, but by then it was probably pretty good. And also, it has like all the CGI elements kind of have like a similarity to the way that they're processed, and so
Mhm.
everything kind of looks really Everything kind of they fit.
Mhm.
All the pieces fit. Like Scooby's animated in a certain way, and so is, the monsters and stuff. And so basically, what you end up finding out is that these monsters kind of, what do they take people's souls?
Yes, they
Yeah.
want to inhabit other people's bodies. So
Yeah.
they take your soul and then they inhabit your soul.
And then your soul
Or
goes
your
into this like
vessel,
soul
like.
well.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that ends up happening. Who gets it first?
They all kind of get it at the same time,
Yeah.
if I remember. Because remember the I'm just gonna keep calling them aliens. I don't know
They're
what
pretty
they
much
are.
aliens, yeah.
The aliens attack everyone. The
Yeah,
only people
at that diner.
don't get injured, or I guess souls taken, is Daphne, Scooby, and Shaggy.
Yeah.
But Velma and Fred, so actually not that many. But everyone else, literally everyone on the island, gets their souls taken except for those two. And then they have to go rescue them, of course.
Yeah, and so then we have like the scene where Shaggy like finds the soul pool.
Mm-hmm.
This scene we both were kind of thought was funny because he can just like take out any soul and like give it back to somebody. And there's
And
like
he
some
just-
that he like picks them up and he's like, no, not that one. Just like throws them back.
what
Like,
an
bro, let him.
asshole! Why would you not give that one his soul back? Why wouldn't you just tip it over? Everyone gets their soul back. He literally could have ended the movie right
Yeah,
there.
he really could have. I mean, what a dick. But I guess like also whenever you let them loose, like they would like go to the wrong bodies sometimes for some reason.
I guess, but that wasn't an issue at the end.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like that doesn't make any sense. Why are they just like, well, I can't find Velma, so I'm just gonna stick myself inside of Fred. Like what the fuck? Why did they do that?
Why would you do that?
And then also like, I thought I had a problem with not like a problem, but I thought it was funny. He like he was letting these souls out, and they were like phasing through things and like flying away. But then like the reason why
But then
one of the souls
door-
couldn't get back to the body was because like they shut a door in front of it, and they were like, oh, can't go through that.
I can't go through a door.
So I'll just like go
obviously.
find somebody else and stick my soul inside of them.
So he goes
pretty
and
much like
finds-
the idea of breaking up.
Yeah, so they find the thing. I think this is Shaggy, and they find Fred and Velma, and Fred can't find his body.
Yeah.
So he goes into Daphne's body. Velma finds her body, and she's in slutty mode now.
Yeah.
She's got the really low cut shirt for some reason, and like really, like I guess the monster specifically cut the shirt for her because it looks like the same shirt she was wearing.
Velma, like the actress for her sounds like a robot.
Yeah,
She sounds really, really
the
weird.
actors in this movie aren't amazing.
Yeah.
No offense to them, but
I mean, I get that that's probably how Velma would sound canonically. Could you imagine if this movie is this movie canon? I actually kind of want to know that. And then also we were talking
is
about like
there a Scooby canon verse?
probably, but then I also thought about like what if this movie were to feature its like Scooby Doo's like first canonical death? Like what if Scooby Doo died?
Oh,
That would be a
that
heavy
would
hitter.
be intense for a kid.
Could you imagine the reparations that it would go through? They had to like
They
make
have to bring him back to life. It turns into this really dark fantasy, like having to gather all the blood and gore and ingredients to bring someone back to life.
Well, I think it's actually interesting though because they have like Scrappy Doo, which is clearly supposed to be like the spiritual successor.
Spoilers, guys. Spoilers.
Well, they don't. I mean, everybody knows about Scrappy Doo. Like he's in the movie,
He is in the movie.
and he's the bad guy.
He is the main villain, guys. I know.
It is a
I
crazy
know.
reveal, actually.
For just anyone that hasn't seen this movie, big spoilers.
It's a crazy reveal with absolutely no telegraphing. You see Scrappy like once in the
You
movie.
see once in a flashback, he gets kicked out of the car because he peed on someone's face.
Yeah, they just kicked his ass to the curb. They were like,
They just kicked him out in the
Yeah.
middle of a desert.
it's like why would they do that? Like that doesn't even make sense.
Like, don't get me wrong, you don't like Scrappy, but you're just an asshole.
Yeah, no, they kind of had it coming. And then it
Uh,
turns out that Scrappy's been like wearing a human.
So Sean Bean, he's
Oh, yeah, he's in the
his
movie.
character, which by the way, Sean Bean's in this movie, which is fucking cool as hell. His character is Scrappy, but in a robot suit. So Sean Bean is actually a robot, and Scrappy wants to suck all of the souls out of everybody, put it in the soul well,
Yeah.
and become a super mutant soul man.
Which is kind of like what happened. I was drawing a parallel with like the Joker in Arkham Asylum, where
He
like,
looked kind of similar to
where
the
he
Joker.
like pumped himself up with all the Titan. I think that's probably where they got the idea for that. Like Rocksteady, they were like they watched Scooby Doo
watched-
because I mean it actually kind of makes sense because they want to get some some mystery like scenes for the Asylum game, and they're like because Batman's the world's greatest detective,
Well,
so they're
of course,
gonna
it
watch.
kind of makes sense because Scooby Doo is also, obviously they're the world's greatest detective in their world.
Yeah.
Batman's the world's greatest detective in their world.
So they were
kind of
probably watching it
similarities.
to see. They were probably modeling Batman's character after some of the characters in the
which
movie.
makes sense because when you really look at it, Robin weirdly looks like Shaggy, and when you really think about it, Fred pretty similar when you really think about it to Batman.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking they were probably doing this like a character analysis thing to try to like, how would the world's greatest detective like think? Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably where he drew that inspiration. And then
Scrappy is clearly based on Joker.
And then they were in this movie,
obviously in this movie, of course. Normally he's not. Normally he's based on the Riddler. Everyone knows that. but in this one, clearly he's based on the Joker. Fred is Batman.
Yeah.
Or let me clarify here. Batman is based on Fred. The Joker is based on Scrappy. Obviously, Scooby-Doo came first. Everyone knows Batman obviously came out after Scooby. So that's just a known fact. Everyone knows that. But then Velma's obviously Barbara Gordon. If anyone hasn't seen this, James Gordon? No. What's his name? What's the detective's name? The guy that Batman works with. Jim Gordon. Yes, his daughter, who goes in a wheelchair. Obviously, that's Velma. Who's Daphne, though? Poison Ivy. Only character I can think of, but I don't know. Who's Velma?
Maybe Catwoman.
There
it is.
That makes sense.
I could see where they got the aesthetics from those characters.
Yeah.
That actually is pretty feasible.
Yeah.
But so then anyway, Scrappy wants to like juice himself up with a bunch of souls. And,
basically steroid.
Yeah, he wants to, kind of buff up.
Look like The Rock.
Yeah, just...
And actually based off of The Rock's regime too.
The Rock...
Steroid enhancements.
The Rock didn't take steroids. That's what he tells people. So we have all the reason to believe him.
Let's be clear here. I was joking.
Neither did John Cena. Huh? And neither did John Cena. He also didn't take steroids. Of course.
And neither did the Liver King, weirdly enough. He didn't take steroids
He didn't take steroids either. All he did was eat meat.
All just liver. Yeah,
and so then... there's like a big action sequence that lasts like 5 minutes.
Which one?
Maybe 10. Well, there's like the one where Velma does like karate on one of the...
this big ass motherfucker.
Yeah. She kicked his ass like bad. She really handed it to him.
By the way.
Yeah, I mean, that one makes sense.
Actually makes sense.
I could see that one. And then like Shaggy and Scooby, they fight off Scrappy, right?
Yes.
So, I don't know.
They're basically
don't remember
just
how it ended.
running away from Scrappy. Very Scooby-Doo-like.
Yeah.
They're running away from Scrappy while Velma and Fred, I believe, try to fix the problem by getting or tipping over the soul well and making it to where he's not getting any more souls. And
right.
All the souls go back to their owners. I don't remember. Oh, no, they're trying to get the claw. And then Scrappy just has a pyramid in his chest. He's
just like
attached to him.
Cybernetically enhanced himself.
And then they just pull it out.
Yeah, they totally could have killed his ass.
He doesn't just die.
Yeah, no, it's like he's got this like whole Darth Vader chest plate thing going on where it's like a life support thing that's just like a weird like pyramid thing that sucks people's souls out of him and they just rip it out of his chest. Like, didn't they just pull his heart out? And he's just totally fine.
He's like, okay. I'm good, guys. We're good.
Yeah, or like the Iron Man
the Iron Man
arc.
chest suit. I feel like that's pretty good, yeah.
It's like the arc
if
reactor.
you tear that out, Iron Man dies.
Yeah.
Scrappy, he's stronger than Iron Man. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, well, he might not have the same heart condition.
That's true. He doesn't have the metal going to his heart.
He might have like thyroid disease or something, but he doesn't have the heart. And then there's and then it kind of just ends after that, doesn't it? It's just like
They do a really weird thing where at the very end of the movie, they just bring every single extra you have seen in this entire movie, put them all in one spot, and then just have all of the mystery gang talk to the news reporter.
Yeah, and all the extras just get to stand behind and like wave at the camera.
And just kind of stand there like...
Because this is their moment,
This is their moment.
you know.
This is the moment they've been waiting for.
So
I think more movies should do that.
I'm kind of happy that they did that, just for the cast's sake, you know.
Yeah.
You get the sense that there was a real sense of camaraderie on the.
You can tell.
Yeah.
The way Sean Bean looks at Fred when he's talking and he's just like,
Yeah, you know that they enjoyed hanging out with each other and making
Mm-hmm.
that movie, for sure.
yeah, I bet you they played Batman all night long.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't out yet.
Oh, yeah. There must have been an older Batman. I'm
Oh
sure.
yeah, no, yeah.
I don't know which one, but I'm sure there's probably a Batman game. Maybe they watched the Batmans. Which one was it? The
Michael
Amazing
Keaton
ones,
one.
of course. Which, by the way, we should have watched for this because that
What?
would have been really good. Any of the Batman movies,
Oh yeah,
the original ones though, the
more
the
campy
one
ones.
with Morton Keaton, not Morton Keaton.
What's
his name?
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
We should have watched those. Those actually would have been pretty fun. We'll have to watch that next time.
Yeah, we'll have to think of another damn theme for it.
Yeah. Email us of the theme. We don't have an email. I don't know what email you're emailing us to. You'll have to ask the creator.
You just got to guess my name, pretty much.
Well,
and just send
it says your name.
Yeah.
We also
well,
said our names.
yeah, but they don't know my last name. I don't think, right?
His last name is Cabinet.
Yeah.
For anyone wondering.
And also, I think that before you dox me, I think that actually the character designs are really good in this movie. I wanted to say that one kind of final
They look
thought.
very cartoon
Accurate.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they did a very good job on
The
that.
costumes were great, and actually the casting was really good too. Those people looked a lot like Shaggy, Scooby, Velma. Well, Scooby they didn't have to cast anybody, which is great. Well, I guess they had a voice actor.
They would have had a voice actor. I have no idea who voices him.
You can't hear a word he says though. It's not even because of the sound design. It's just because he's Scooby Doo. You can't.
Scooby Doo, you just don't understand.
He tries to talk quite a bit in the movie, and it's I just give up.
I will say though, in saying this, I think Shaggy was probably the best.
Actor?
In my opinion. I think he was the best actor
Yeah.
out of the Scooby Doo gang. I think he
plays
did
a good
really
Shaggy.
good job.
Yeah, his voice is perfect for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zoink Scoob.
Yeah, he did that pretty well. Bunch of that stuff.
Good ass movie though. I absolutely recommend anyone that hasn't seen it go watch it.
Yeah.
And if you have the time, which you will make time at this point, because you're watching this, and I don't know why the hell you're watching this, you should be watching Scooby Doo.
Yeah. And then watch the second one and tell
And
us
then
how
watch
it
the
was.
second one.
Because I
Email us
kind of
in.
don't want to.
Tell us how it is, and if we should do one on the second one.
You know what I thought was really funny was that we were looking up Scooby Doo, and the modern Scooby Doo show that came out, the modern animated movie that came out. The live action one that we watched came up before the new one.
What do you
Remember
mean?
that? I went to looking up on Amazon Prime and I looked up Scooby Doo,
Mhm.
and then the first thing that came up was
The
live action show.
When you look it up, the live action comes up before the newest Scooby Doo movie.
So did it surpass it? Low key, did the movie kind of put the animated show on? Did they kind of put it on a pedestal? Did
No.
people find out about it through the live action movie?
No,
You don't think so?
absolutely not. The live action show was,
Well, I know it's old. I know it's newer than it, but still.
I think the original cartoon was really popular, and that's why they made the movie.
Yeah.
Now, did that make them grow in popularity? Absolutely, because this movie was a 10 out of 10. But
Yeah.
I would say that they probably already knew about it, because everyone knows Scooby-Doo is the best franchise in the entire world, and no one can ever argue that point ever.
I actually might want to watch some of the suffer through some of the old animated episodes just because this movie was so good.
I don't think the old
I'm
episodes are
joking.
bad.
It's funny to think of somebody saying that the movie was that much better than the show. Just, I don't know. Thought it'd be funny to play that part. It's the most delusional I've felt in my entire life, actually. But no, you're right. The movie is reasonably a 10 if it had better sound design.
I genuinely think if the sound design wasn't better and we had subtitles, the sound design would not have been an issue if we had subtitles.
Yeah.
I bet you I wouldn't even have complained about it. But the fact that we didn't have subtitles, and there was just terrible fucking sound design, it didn't mesh.
Yeah, so that was the bad thing, but then everything else was the good thing.
Honestly, everything else was the good thing. Everything
Yep.
in this movie was amazing, and it is an easy 10 out of 10 from me. It's a amazing bad movie to watch that is so funny, and it's so ironic to watch that it's just spectacular.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah, perfect kids movie.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. All right.
And adult movie, because it's spectacular.
Yeah, they had adults in mind for some scenes.
They
Like,
did.
I think that the farting scene was a little bit too mature for the kids.
Clearly.
They wouldn't relate like a true adult would.
But yeah, so my review, 10 out of 10, easy, 100%, best movie you should ever, and you should watch it right now. Connor?
Actually, from the way that you talked about it, you've kind of convinced me. My score's gone up like 7 points, so I'd put it at a 10.
That's how good this movie is. Even people that think it's terrible think it's amazing. So
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been the cinematics.
Yeah.
I've been Casey,
I've been Connor.
and go watch the news.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
That was such a good episode. That was funny.